Hey guys, this is Jules. This is the first phone call that I recorded with the Moscow Police Department FOIA officer back on November 4th, 2025. Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. I had to go in and lower my voice down to like 50% and heighten her voice up to 200. I didn't realize when I recorded this that it was going to be so difficult to hear her. It wasn't on speaker like the other phone call that I played for you guys before was on speaker. So I needed you guys to be able to hear her better. Besides that, this is unedited. It's the full conversation for this one phone call. Now, this is the first phone call for this date. This is where she tells me that not only does she not even know the suspect's name, but that the FBI says they can't release any interview information. This is where she says Moscow PD never spoke to Kohberger's family at all. They never did any interviews or had any conversations with them. This is where I learn about how all of the Moscow Police Department photos from Officer Snyder's inventory report that had like 180 or so photos on it was only released to one entity. Everyone after that got the redacted version that takes away all of the bedrooms. Now, when those photos originally dropped, we went over them here in this video, and I messaged or sent an email, shall I say, over to MPD and asked them if the victims' bodies were in these photos, and I was told yes. So these photos were pre the TRO, pre anything being done that would have removed the crime scene rooms themselves from the inventory. Because we know now that Maddie Mogen's mom and then Ethan Chapin's parents piggybacked onto the lawsuit that was filed in order to put a protective order on all of the victims' rooms pictures. So now we only have kind of useless information, if you want to be honest, when it comes to what's being put out in the public imagery wise. I mean, we see the inside of the house, we see the kitchen, we see the living room, and those areas are very important. But we don't see the inside of the bedrooms. We don't see the way that the spatter goes. We don't see the knife sheath itself. And again, we've asked for this information. We paid $200 almost for knife sheath information from the Moscow Police Department, and they gave us 3 pictures that are boo-boo and 2 email threads. And I'm basically being told that out of 685 emails, only those 2 were eligible for public release, which makes no sense to me, especially in the 3-day time span that I'm asking for, because that was the very specifics that I was asking for. And that's just one of the many things that I'll be addressing with Chief Dollinger when I send him an email later on this week. I've been trying to make sure that it is as short and sweet and to the point, but as specific and detailed as possible so that there's no misconception for what I'm asking. And it's very just to the point. You guys know how I like to do things here. So when that happens, and hopefully I get a response since this email is being given to me from Moscow Police Department themselves, I will of course let you guys know what's being said. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and play this phone call, and keep in mind, this is before she calls me back and tells me that they have finally found the 12:55 to the 2:30 time frame. Hey Amber, this is Julia. I'm returning your phone call from yesterday. Hey.
Whether you want me to do an estimate for all of it, or whether you, and then put what you've already paid and let you know what the half of what the total for videos is.
For the 11-12, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was confused about, but I wanted to hurry up and get it in. That's why I just put it that way. So yeah, I did want to like have a discussion with that. Because I know the original amount is on the paperwork, and I know that we've got all those other ones. I mean, I know that we have the other 2 clips with the deposits already paid, and I guess those can just stay like how they are. So I guess like an estimate for whatever the full remaining amount is would be all that's really needed, yeah.
Okay, I will figure out how much that I can do that.
Okay.
Figure that part out.
Do you know, because I know like you can only see what you can see, right? Like I know that you only have access to like whatever you have access to. But is there somebody that can like explain why that portion of the 1112 that is noted in the report is not connected to this when it's so many of the important time frames of the victims getting back home?
Did I send an email to him? If I didn't send an email, I meant to double check with him because I don't know what happened.
Yeah, because I mean it's a lot. 12:55 to 2:25 in the morning is a long time.
And it's on my list to check in with him about because I remember having that conversation and then him pulling that.
Okay, and this is Smaldridge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all we have. So I will double check with him again and see if he has any idea. I don't have an answer for you. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
And then for the photograph.
Okay, yes. Okay, good. Let me ask you about that. No, I sent one about the pictures. Because I know that like in Officer Snyder's report, it has a list of like the 182, I think, that he took that day. And I know that there was a release that came out from Mainstream and they only put a few out there and they were really cropped and they were really they weren't done correctly. They were very much not like, we know that y'all had to do redactions and blurring, but they would like, they flipped them or they cropped them to where you can't see the full thing. It's very, very misleading. And so there's a lot of misconceptions about a lot of things going on. And that's like that's what I do as much as I possibly can, is try to debunk the lies and try to stay with the facts. That's why I'm asking for like certain things. And I have so many questions. I know it's probably annoying, but that's just how my brain works. But when it comes to these documents, like these pictures, there's only been one person that I have found that has 140 something photos. And that's still like 30 something or so missing. I've never seen the full file.
We are releasing 130. We're not releasing any photographs of the bedroom.
Okay. 136. So that's already out there, or is that something that's coming out? Okay, already out.
That's been out for quite a while.
Okay. Is there a way that I can get my own file of that? Because that makes me curious also as to why this other person has 144 pictures on their stuff.
Well, there was one release that had bedroom pictures in it.
Oh, okay, yes.
Maybe more out there.
Okay, so that was the one. Okay, yes, because I'm the one that actually emailed and like wanted clarification to make sure that the bodies were in the pictures or not, because that was another one of the misconceptions that we weren't sure, because how they were, we kind of figured there wouldn't have been, but it turned out that there was. So that was the first one. Okay.
That was only released to one person. So, and then the
Interesting.
bureau was filed.
Okay, so only one entity got those.
Yeah, I only released it once with pictures of the bedroom.
I know that they came out. I don't know who it was that y'all gave them to, but I know that a mainstream media source in Idaho was the first ones to release it, as far as we could tell here on the internet.
It might have been.
Yeah, that's what Snyder's report says. It's pretty much it has like the full inventory.
Yeah, then that must be, and that was only released once.
Okay, and so the ones that are the final release to the public is the 136 photos. So is there a way that I can go ahead and get my own file for that?
Yeah, I will. It'll be the duplicate cost of
That's fine.
$30.
Okay.
That I am working on your responses today.
Okay. So I guess we can just like wait till like the estimate for the other stuff is done, and we can just take care of all of it at one time. So, and you can take your time. I'm not like in a rush or anything, but I'm glad that you called, because I did have questions on that portion. Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this. Do you know what else is going to be like coming out? I know that we have like 2 more of Dylan's interviews that you said that you guys were working on, and there was like 7 more videos of stuff. Can you tell me like what might be incoming, just so that I can kind of keep a lookout and decide what else I might want to put a request in for?
Just random interviews with people.
Is there anything else coming out when it comes to like Kohberger's interviews with anybody or his families from? Has anybody requested any of the actual suspects interviews at all? Because we haven't seen anything.
No, I have no idea who the suspect is.
Well, I mean, when it comes to just like any of the interviews, when it comes to the other side of the table, like when it comes to the guy that was arrested and his family, is there anybody requesting anybody's interviews with the last name Kohberger?
Yes, and
okay.
All of those are going to be denied.
All denied. Oh, because the FBI said so?
Yeah, those are all FBI.
Okay.
We did not interview, as MPD did not interview any of his family. It was only FBI.
Moscow never interviewed the family. Did they interview him at all, or is everything just under FBI jurisdiction?
Pennsylvania. There was an interview in Pennsylvania.
Right. Yeah, we've seen the report for that one when it comes to y'all's end of that, but y'all don't have access to the actual interview. You said it's Pennsylvania's property?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, there's a whole process. You have to do all kind of like subpoenas and stuff with the court with them. Yeah, that's an interesting journey over there. Okay. I don't think I have any more questions then. The other one I put in, it's kind of like random, but it's just for like research purposes. When it comes to like the past, like from the crime time of 11/13/22 and 6 months prior to that, of like any of the police calls out to 1122 King Road, like I said, it's not really like, actual case related, but it is just something that I'm curious about. Do we know about like how many times, so I can kind of get like an idea of like how much it might cost to get those documents?
I'm sorry. There are 3 noise complaints.
And that's all there was?
Yeah.
In 6 months? Okay, that's not okay. Well, I was wondering because there's some of the reports saying that some of the friends knew that, Kaylee might have had somebody stalking her, plus they had instances of coming home and the door was wide open and they thought somebody might have been in the house. So I'm just assuming that no one called the cops in any of those scenarios, even though they thought someone was in the house at those times either.
Yeah, there's no.
That's crazy. I'd have been calling the cops the second I heard a breath not right, bro. Like, I'm one of those people. I'm not playing any games. That's crazy. Okay. Damn. Wild.
As far as 6 months ago, because there were requests for everything for all 4 victims and for King Road.
And it's just noise complaints. That is crazy. Okay. I'd have been having y'all out there all the time, coming home and my door is open, almost off the hinges. That's wild to me. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I appreciate you giving me a call so that we can get all that figured out. But yeah, just like let me know whenever you have like all the estimates and stuff done, and we can just go ahead and pay it out.
This one from Friday. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for. Do you want the dispatch if we have it?
From
body cam and all of that for those noise complaints?
No, because if it's all you guys have is the noise complaints, those are honestly already out there, and I've seen all of them. So yeah, no, that's totally okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I've seen them. That's crazy. Okay.
Withdraw that one.
Yeah, we can withdraw that one.
Okay. I'll send you an email just to
confirm it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's all we have are those 3 noise complaints.
That is wild to me. Holy crap, holy. Okay. All right, yeah, just go ahead and shoot me an email whenever you have like the rest of the stuff, and I can just go ahead and take care of it as soon as it's ready.
Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, bye-bye. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this down in the comments, and I'll have the other 2 portions of this call out pretty soon here. If you like the way that I present this information and give my opinion, please don't forget to leave a like on the way out, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed already, and please don't forget to make sure that that notification bell is set to all so you don't miss any of my rants, reviews, reactions, updates, or deep dives. Oh, and by the way, I put a few new videos over on my second channel. This one is pretty interesting. If you know the story about how I was raised, you might want to watch this one. And this one I put earlier today. This channel is doing some weird stuff, and I just don't know what to make of it. Go and click the link in my description box or click on the end tabs in order to go and watch that video, because I'm super curious as to what you guys are thinking about this. One thing is for sure. This video told me that there is no limits to what YouTube will allow in ways of length of video. So me wanting to put the full 12 hours up of the 1112 King Road camera is obviously not going to be a problem. Therefore, I will be getting started on that very, very, very soon. But for now, and again, let me know what you guys are thinking about all this stuff. See y'all.